Welcome. This is your teacher, David Garcia, and this video is a continuation from the previous video in which we solved the parabola general conic form by changing it into the vertex form equation. But we solved it for a vertical parabola. Now we're going to do the same, but for a horizontal parabola. So let's see what the deal is. And you will see that it is exactly the same as before. We have the red parabola that is described by this general equation form, this general conic form. Is this red parabola right here. And we have the vertex form that, if you see, it's a little bit different. Okay, some of the things have changed, even though we still have the same variables. But these little changes, all right, generate a horizontal parabola now. So we have to move these values, right, the value of A, the value of H, and the value of K in order to get our answer. Now, let's begin with the H. If you see, H is moving again my parabola to the right. So in this case, it'll be 5. And K, in this case, it'll be 1. So I move it over there, up to 1. And now they match. Now you see the opening of the parabolas doesn't match. So now I have to modify A. So if I start increasing its value, I see that it is getting narrower, narrower. And eventually when I get to 2, I have the values in this form that generate exactly the same parabola as the one in here. So let's see now how this is done algebraically. Now, the idea is the same as before. The only thing that will change are the variables. So the example that we had in the graph goes like this. Negative 2y squared plus x plus 4y minus 7 equals 0. So now from the variables that we have that are y squared and x is the one that it is not squared. So in this case, we're going to isolate the y, all the terms that have the y variable, and we're going to move them onto the other side of the equation. The x, and the x, and in this case, a negative 7, we're going to leave them on the left side. So what we have is x minus 7 equals 2y squared minus 4y. Now, we are going to factor the coefficient that it is accompanying the y's. And in this case, is 2. The other side, we'll leave it unaffected for now. So I have x minus 7 equals 2 times y squared minus 2y. In the same way as before, we are going to complete the trinomial. How do we do that? Again, we're going to take this number in here. We're going to divide it by 2. And then we're going to square it. So negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1, squared will be 1. So now I have the same situation as before. I have modified this equality because on this side, on the right side, I have added a number. But this one that I am adding is actually being modified by these two. So in reality, what I'm doing is adding 2 on the right side. So I have to add 2 on the left side. So now I perform this addition. So I will have x minus 5 equals 2 times y squared minus 2y plus 1. And now I can factor the trinomial. Now I can factor these parentheses right here. So I have x minus 5 equals 2 times y minus 1 squared. In the same way as before, what I have here is exactly the same thing that I had before, but it is just factored. And now I can isolate my x. The objective in here will be to isolate the x. So this negative 5 will go to the other side, adding. So I have that x equals 2 times y minus 1 squared plus 5. And I got, if you see, the same answer that we got in our graphing section. So that's it. Thank you very much. And I will see you in our next video.